Hey everybody, this is Grace. And the other day I was thinking about this. When things happen, around the house, and if you're around my age and you're the homemaker or caregiver or whatever, and things go wrong, that's something that is usually somebody else in your life took care of. Okay. What was on my mind was like when you need to turn off the water main, or just to that, say, sink or whatever. And do you know how? I thought, this is definitely not a how-to kind of video. Then I thought about electricity. When do you turn the electricity off first? Do you have to turn the electricity off? Turning electricity off is not the same for everybody. Some people have one kind of breaker box. Some have, I think they used to have fused boxes. I don't know. Some houses may still have that. When the electricity goes out, how do you get it back on? And when it's not the whole neighborhood, something in your house, I wouldn't know how to do all that for everybody. But I do learn where I live, wherever kind of house or home I live in. Where's the breaker box and how to use it, and when to use it is also a problem. Like if you have water leaking, turn off the electricity first, if and when. Like I said, this is not a how-to video. But do you know all that? It did remind me of one of my nieces years ago when she was probably she was a teenager. She wouldn't change the light bulb on the ceiling fan in her bedroom. And I just, I didn't know that she wouldn't, but I went there and I asked her, she showed me a room or something. I asked her, I said, why don't you change the light bulb? It went out, and, it was already out. And she said, I'm not going to do that. I said, why not? You're going to just sit around in the dark? I said, why won't you do it? She goes, I don't have to. And I was like, what? I said, what are you going to do whenever you get older and you have to? There's nobody else around to do it. And she says, well, I'll marry somebody who will do it for me. Wow. That just blew me over. Now, I certainly wasn't raised to think that way, that somebody's going to do everything for me, that I got a sense of entitlement here. No, was not raised that way to do that. In fact, the way I learned to change a tire, do you know how to change a tire? I haven't done it in eons. I have AAA now, but I have for a while. But to change a tire, my dad taught me how to change them. And that was to take all 4 tires off of one car, and I think it was put them on another one that were very similar cars, So that's how I learned how to change a tire. And I think once you learn how to, you don't forget. But like I said, now these days I have AAA, so I don't have to deal with that. And you know what? As soon as I got AAA, I had to call them twice about 2 different things. One was somehow, some way, my car that was in the driveway, I mentioned this before in a video a long time ago, but my car in the driveway wound up across the street over the curb, almost hit somebody's fence that's across the street. Yeah, and I had to call AAA to get them to, I was hoping they would help me to move it, but they had me drive it off, which was pretty bad because it's a really low car and low to the ground. So, yeah. Anyway, these kinds of things were on my mind lately. Not sure why, but not too long ago, right before it, Adam had, I guess it was in the late, I would say November, he had moved a carpet, a big, thick, heavy carpet. It was actually out in the garage. Then he had taken it out to power wash it and all this kind of stuff, and that did not work. But he moved it back to the garage, and when he did, from what his podiatrist said, he somehow fractured a bone in his foot just from moving it. He didn't drop it on his foot. It was just somehow from moving it. Really strange. And he had to wear one of those boots for I think it was, I don't know how many weeks. But anyway, he just recently stopped using it. And it made me think about, when people, like yesterday we went to Costco and there was a big thing of dog food. I think it was the dog food. I said, don't you move it. You might break it. I said it in a nice way, but he might fracture his foot again. He brought it in, wound up bringing it in, but I just slid it off into the cart. I'm used to doing that, and I'm younger. But when you really think about that, what your age is, how you're aging, do you know everything that the other person knows? Or did you have like a split division of labor? You do this and they do that. Yeah, it might be time to learn how to do them all. I mean, I did a lot of that, and I'm sure many of us have, but we learn how to do what the other one does in case something happens. But sometimes we don't. And you never know. You know, there are things I still don't know how to do, and I do need to learn them. But anyway, what about you? Leave a comment below. Do you know all that you think you need to know that the other one usually does? So, if you want to subscribe to this channel, click this circle. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click one of the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share if you would. And I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.